So I've gained over 150,000 followers on all my social media combined, and all really easily. But it didn't come overnight, and to create this system to achieve this, I had to do something that most creators can't imagine doing. Forget about followers and subscribers altogether. Can you achieve this kind of success and even greater as a musician? In this video, I'm going to reveal the top 10 tips guaranteed to boost your online presence. So let me ask you a question. This is WD-40. And this is a product that's used to remove rust from things, and it's also used to put on like doors and other appliances to stop them from squeaking. Well, you ever wonder what the 40 stands for in WD-40? Well, it stands for the 40 attempts that they made to get this product right before they nailed it. They went through many iterations before perfecting this formula that has now become the longest best-selling product of its kind. And that brings me to the first tip. So it was probably the case that the first 39 attempts of the WD-40 formula was extremely frustrating. And I know that after like the fourth or fifth attempt, they were ready to call it quits. So what does this have to do with building your online presence and social media? Well, in order to be successful online and on social media, you need to be consistent. And this means that you may have to post like several videos or several pieces of other content or all of that before you start seeing any real traction. Now, there's something that's really huge that gets in the way of this next tip, and that is the fact that we musicians and artists tend to be really self-serving. Not necessarily in a bad way, but in a way that we want to be seen and we want others to give us praises for what we do, and we want the accolades and all of that. And when it comes to posting on social media and stuff, that goes into that because we do it because we want the likes and the follows and all of that. But to really stand out on social media, you need to make content that is based on your audience's needs and wants and not your own. This means that if you want to get to that high level of success, you have to spend time finding out what it is that they want and that they like and give that to them. And then you can get what you want out of it. But it's all about the audience first. Now, to grasp this next tip, you really need to understand what's currently happening with technology and AI. So cameras and microphones and other types of equipment powerful enough to record blockbuster Hollywood movies is now available to the average person. What would have cost $30,000, $50,000, $60,000 just 10 or 15 or 20 years ago is now available to the average person at a fraction of that cost. And as a result, consumers and content creators are using this level of powerful equipment to create their content. So if you want to stand out online and on social media and have a high level of success, you need to be creating as high quality content as possible. And this doesn't mean going out and buying expensive equipment to create content. It just means that you use what you have and you learn to use it in a way that creates the best, highest quality possible so that you can put that high quality content out. Now, this is a good place to mention the YouTube QuickStart course, which is a course designed to get you up and running on YouTube really quickly and really easily. And the best part is it's completely free and you can get instant access to it at the link in the description of this video. And also, if you're getting value out of this video so far, make sure you give this video a like as well. Okay, so let me ask you a question. How many subscribers and followers do you think is enough? Like, how many do you believe you need to have a high level of success? 50,000, 100,000, a million? Well, what if I told you none of these numbers of subscribers or followers are even close to what you need to be successful? And the thing is, most people get on social media and try to be successful by gaining as many subscribers and followers as possible. But I have to tell you, when it comes to success online and on social media, focusing on gaining a high number of followers and subscribers isn't the goal. Building a community is. Now, I'm going to come back to this followers and building a community thing in a minute, but a dedicated group of, say, 1,000 people in a community that support you and buy your products and basically just support you on every level is always going to be better than, say, 10,000 followers that just barely even care what you do. So in other words, you can get more out of an engaged community of 1,000 people more than you can get from 10,000 followers or even 50 or 60,000 followers that don't even really care much about you. So in order to be successful, you have to focus on building that community. And that leads me to the next tip. Did you know that most people who get into content creation quit after about 3 months on average. They get on social media and start posting and quickly realize the things that I've said so far, that you have to be consistent and that you have to focus on a community, and the followers may not come as quickly as you want, and they don't see the traction that they want in a short period of time, and boom, they just quit. And the shocking statistic is that it takes on average about 2 to 5 years for most people to start seeing significant success on social media. So if you're going to accomplish what you want to accomplish on social media and online, you're going to have to be in it for the long game. You're going to have to go into it with the mindset of, I'm going to give this 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years, and put in as much effort as I can so that I give it a fair shot to be successful. It's kind of like trying to get in shape. If you're going to quit eating well and exercising just after a few weeks, then you might as well not even start. Now, I said I would come back to the followers thing. And though the numbers of followers and subscribers isn't important, you do need some sort of guidepost to let you know that what you're doing on social media is or isn't working. So instead of trying to use the number of followers and subscribers to gauge this, what you need to use instead is a specific goal. Like, you need to have a specific goal or set of goals in mind of what you want to accomplish on social media overall. Do you want to make enough money on social media to go full time? If so, like, what's that specific number? Or do you want to just make some extra cash here and there and get yourself out there? If so, what's that amount? When you have these sort of specific goals out there, you can gauge what you're doing on social media from day to day and look at it and say, is what I'm doing getting me closer to that goal or further away from that goal? Whichever type of goal or option that you choose, having a clear-cut outcome in mind is what's going to propel you to success online and on social media. Now, I also said that I would come back to this building a community thing because this is one of the biggest factors of success on social media. And building an online community is a lot like building a relationship. You have to spend time with each other. You have to talk to each other and understand each other's wants, needs, and desires. And so the number one way that you build this really engaged community of subscribers, followers, and fans is you engage with them. And this means that when you post stuff, you respond to the comments, you answer the questions, you ask questions, and you have conversations about things so that basically your community just becomes like a big circle of close friends. And just take a guess of who the people is in your life that are more likely to support you and help you with your endeavors. Your friends. Now, for this next tip, think about this. Did you know that there are some basketball players out there that are arguably better than LeBron James or better than Michael Jordan ever was, but they never made it to the NBA? They were great basketball players and they did all of the right things, but they just never made it to the NBA. And this speaks to what a lot of the online gurus won't tell you about being successful online, and that is luck is a part of it, and there are no guarantees. So you really just have to love the process. The truth is, you can do all of the things that the content creators tell you to do in your content and, get it all right, and you still may not get to any sort of significant level of success. So really, falling in love with the process of becoming successful is what's going to carry you when you may not be seeing the traction or the numbers and all of this kind of stuff that you want, or when progress is really slow. And it's going to help you be better with what I talked about earlier, and that is being consistent, which is a thing that is a major factor of success. And speaking of things being difficult and all of that, one of the reasons that so many content creators find things hard and difficult and they burn out online so quickly is because they spend so much time trying to copy other people and trying to follow their path of success. And while success does leave clues, copying other people just may not be the thing for you to do. Arguably, the most famous YouTuber of all time is Mr. Beast, and the amount of people that are out there trying to copy him and do what he does is just astounding. And 99% of them aren't even successful at it. And so what this means for you is that if you want to be successful online, you need to be as authentic as possible. Instead of trying to copy someone else, you need to show up as you so that that relationship and community thing I talked about building earlier. People develop a relationship with you rather than a copy of someone else. Now, one huge mistake that I see from a lot of musicians and artists trying to gain success online with content creation and all of that is they go into it with this really strict way of what and how they're going to do things. They think, I'm this kind of artist, I perform this type of music, and I'm gonna do it religiously until I get success. And in a way, I kind of understand it because it does kind of hint at what I talked about earlier about being consistent. And while that may be true, it's also true that you have to take time and experiment until you find the things that are the right fit for you and your audience. Those first 39 attempts of WD-40 that I mentioned earlier were experiments. They experimented until they found what works best for their goals and what provided the most value to their intended consumers. And this brings me to a big problem. As I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest mistakes that musicians and artists make and content creators make is trying to copy other people online and copy trends and all of that. So then what are the things that you should avoid when you're trying to be successful? Well, first, you need to make sure that you don't follow these 6 outdated trends that I see musicians try to follow all the time by watching this video right here. And once you get these down, you will be on your way to success online in no time.